Welcome to RestOModDaisy. Shane Bruce here. I am the owner and proprietor. Today we're talking about our latest acquisition. This is a Daisy model 111, or number 111, model 40. It's an eBay find. I bought it because it is absolutely the crustiest, the rustiest, the most least cared for Daisy I think I have ever seen. And that's remarkable because this is genuinely a vintage Daisy. It's had some charcoal effects done on the forearm. It's got an incredible amount of built-up rust. But still, beneath it, in spots, you can see the original factory bluing, because this gun is old enough to have been blued at the Daisy factory. How do I know that? Well, it was made in Plymouth, Michigan. You can't read that because this is so bummed up right now. But this is a Plymouth, Michigan gun. And it is also one of the earliest Red Ryders. What makes this cool is this is not a 1938 Red Ryder. This is not a 1938B Red Ryder. This is a number 111 Model 40 Red Ryder. This gun has a aluminum low pivot lever. That would place it production-wise at 46, 47, 48, right after the war when Daisy got back to making guns. Up here on the top, you can't really see it. You try to get in a little closer. You might be able to make some of this out. It says Daisy Red Ryder. So this is, in fact, a Red Ryder. Now, and that's why I bought it. Now, let's take a tour. We've seen the terrible condition of the fore end. We've seen the terrible condition of the muzzle cap. We'll flip the gun over and once again travel down and see all that rust and corrosion. Now this is surface rust that has had a long time to accumulate. Incredibly long period of time to accumulate. And here's a really neat feature on this particular gun. Way back in the day, sometime in the late 1940s, early 1950s, some little kid named Jim Kay got this gun. This was his first rifle. Very special for him. And like most young men of that era, he was proud to put his name on this product, so that if that little bastard Bobby down the street stole it from him, he could point to it and say, "It's got my name on it. What are you doing with my BB gun?" Or maybe he just liked woodland. Also here we see an example of the charcoal effect that affected the front end. So I kind of theorized that this gun was left laying up next to some sort of radiant heat source, maybe a potbelly stove, maybe a gas heater, for a long time, because that char is real deep. Now the cool thing about the 111-40 Red Ryders is these are the last of the guns that were low pivot guns. Daisy transitioned from a low pivot right here to a high pivot in sometime after the move to Rogers, Arkansas. But the Plymouth, Michigan guns typically are all low pivot guns. And what makes that kind of cool is that the low pivot of the lever cocking stroke enabled you to get a little more stroke in there and put a heavier spring in. So the common feeling on earlier Plymouth, Michigan guns, especially low pivot lever guns from Daisy, was that they shoot harder than the guns that they manufacture today. And that's probably not contestable. My chronograph tells me that just about every Daisy that walks in here that's a 1938B is going to shoot less than 250 feet a second. I've had a couple of these guns that chronoed at 325, but that's without any rework, that's without any modification. So that's the baseline gun. Good clean lines, good solid steel, slotted screws with the lock washers. But only one bolt on the backside, and it appears to be a different color than it should be. This is the stirrup from the Latigo loop. There should be a nut on this as well. It's gone. And it uses the falling block style spring lock, and the rear sight is not windage adjustable or elevation adjustable. Now it does have the fabulous lightning loader, which is a feature that Daisy put on these early guns. And that way you can actually get BBs down the tube, as opposed to the plastic hatch that's located on this part of a modern 1938, which makes sure you lose at least half the BBs you're trying to put in the gun. That's all for this particular video. We'll be back with another video where I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to this rusty, crusty piece of crap to turn it into a RestOMod. Talk to you later.